It's great to see two families and two sets of friends come together to become one family and one group of friends. Weddings are a time of fun and celebration because love is worth celebrating. Love brings us together like nothing else can. And one of my favorite authors, he wrote Starship Troopers, Robert A. Heinlein once said, "Love is that condition where another person's happiness is essential to your own." Now, Brenda and Richard, you make each other very happy indeed, and that's the whole reason that we're all here today. But how did we get here? Every couple has a story, and Brenda and Richard are no different. So to understand Brenda and Richard's love story, I asked them a lot of questions. I wanted to know how you met, I wanted to know about the first date, how you proposed, and all the details. And after that first meeting, I gave them what I call homework. Now, the homework are a series of questions designed to get to the why behind the what. I call it getting to the chewy, gooey center of your love. You have to get in touch with your inner poet, your inner Luther Vandross, your inner Barry White. But see, here's the thing about the homework. They answer those questions, and they send them directly to me. They don't get to talk about it. There's no, "Hey, baby, what you put down for number 4?" They send it to me, and then I get to read the answers right here today in front of all of you. That's right. I told you it was going to be different. So Brenda has no idea what Richard wrote, and Richard has no idea what Brenda wrote. And they're going to hear it for the first time right now, just like all of you. Are you ready?
Yes.
You can see his face right now. He's a little nervous. They met at an anime convention. These are my people. Through a mutual friend. And Richard said that at first he was a little intimidated and he thought that Brenda was way too cool for him.
It's true.
So when I asked Richard what initially attracted him to Brenda, he said, her undeniable style. From the first time I met Brenda, I was always attracted to her killer fashion sense and artistic talents. Yeah, that's a good answer, isn't it?
It's true.
You got a killer fashion sense? Yeah, I like that. Now, when I asked Brenda what initially attracted her to Richard, she said it was his musical talent and his laid-back demeanor. He laid back, fellas?
Oh my God.
Is he musically talented?
So chill, yes.
And it was music that brought them together. Though they kept seeing each other at conventions, it wasn't until they formed a band together that they really got to know each other. Richard plays keyboards and Brenda was up front as the singer. And as they got to know each other, I wanted to know what they liked best about each other. And Brenda wrote that Richard's best quality, she says, "I think his best quality is how open-minded and patient you are." Richard thinks that Brenda's best quality is her unyielding perseverance. Brenda never gives up no matter what. She always tells me, "My mama didn't raise no quitter." Pretty soon they were talking about marriage, and so I asked them, "What does marriage mean to you?" And Richard says, "To me, marriage is the start of a shared life with your partner. It's the next step to a relationship bonded by unconditional love and trust, unparalleled to any other relationship in your life. It's a declaration to the world and to your partner that you will have each other to depend on for the rest of your lives." To Brenda, marriage to me is the highest form of trust you can have for your partner. You are not just trusting that person to take care of you in the sentimental sense of the word, but also in the practical. Personally, marriage to me is taking a very high risk. You're required to put a lot of faith in your personal livelihood on one person. This is not something I do easily, as I'm not a very trusting person and I don't believe in absolutes. However, I believe Richard deserves my trust, and I owe it to myself to take a risk for a chance of spending all my future memories with my best friend and partner. That's a great answer. Partner. That's what this is all about. Partnership. In Genesis 2:18, God says, "It is not good for man to be alone. I will make a companion," some translations say a helpmate, "who is perfect," or who is just right for him. But what does just right mean? You've heard how they met. You've heard that Brenda has awesome fashion sense and she's bold and in your face, and Richard is more laid back and mellow. They complement each other in a way that makes the perfect team, which brings me to a very important example. One thing I was happy to find out about Richard and Brenda is that they like to play, well, it's not just anime that they're into. They like comic books and Star Trek and Star Wars. These are all my things that I love. But they also like, perhaps the nerdiest of all things, role-playing games, like D&D.
Cute.
If you're not familiar, a role-playing game is it's a game that's based on imagination that matches skill and preparation with a little bit of chance and a little bit of luck. And the chance part is decided by rolling dice. Now here's the thing about that. Typically when you play a role-playing game like D&D, you're in a team. And each player has a role. Now when you play these games, the tank is the toughest. The tank is the boldest of the group. They're the leader. They go up front and, get in the most trouble. Then you have all the regular guys, like the damage dealers, the magic guys, the bow and arrow guys. You have the rogues who steal everything and, pick locks. Then you have the healer. The healer's job is to make sure that everyone in the party survives. They don't care about being the hero or beating the monster. They're in it to protect and fight for the people they love. Now there's always someone who wants to be the tank. And there's always somebody who wants to be the rogue. But it's really hard to find a healer. If you've ever played D&D or any of those games, nobody wants to be the healer. Well, not everybody. I learned that when they play D&D, Brenda's the tank. She's bold, she's in your face, kicking butt and taking names. And Richard prefers to play the healer, making sure that everything is taken care of and that everybody is all right. And that is what just right means. That is what a partnership means. You find someone that is strong where you're weak and weak where you're strong, and as a result, you're stronger together as a couple. Role-playing games are all about adventure, but I think marriage is perhaps the greatest and most challenging adventure of human relationships. Any married people in the house? Married people? Is marriage easy? No, it's hard. But is it worth it?
Yes.
Yes, it is. No ceremony can make your marriage. Only you can do that. Through love and patience and dedication and perseverance, and learning to appreciate your differences and learning to make the important things matter while letting go of everything else. So as we move into the future, the last question I want to share is about the future. I asked Richard why he was looking forward to spending the rest of his life with Brenda, and he said, "One of my favorite feelings I have with Brenda is sharing a first experience with her. I love sharing a first playthrough in a video game with her or discovering an addictive Netflix series to binge. The thought of sharing those experiences with Brenda for the rest of my life sends my heart soaring." Brenda said that she's looking forward to spending the rest of her life with you, Richard, because who wouldn't want to spend the rest of their lives with their best friend?
Oh.
Well, wait no longer, because the rest of your lives start today. So please face each other and take each other's hands as you make the vows that will bind you together. Hands, there you go. You ready?
Yes.
All right. The formal exchange of wedding vows is the most ancient part of a wedding ceremony. And these words have been spoken for centuries to one another, and while they're usually very simple words, they have extraordinary meaning and importance. Now, Brenda and Richard have written their own vows to each other, and Richard is going to go first, but I figured, why not roll for it? Yes.
That's right.
Remember the funny looking dice that I mentioned earlier? I brought one. So, who wants to roll first?
That's all you.
We're going to roll right here on the iPad so we don't face it down. Ready? 8.
8.
Who gets an 8? Richard? 6. 6. All right. Now, we said before Richard was going to go first, but you won. So you can go first or you can defer. Which one do you prefer? You'll defer. Who wants to hold the die? Best man?
Yeah, I got
Thank
Thank you, sir. It's kind of big in my pocket. They're normally not that big, but I had to bring one so you guys could see it all. All right, Richard, you're up first.
Thank you. Brenda, today I pledge myself to you in marriage. You're the one who lifts me up when I break down, the one who holds me together when I become unraveled. I want to be the one you can always rely on, the one who can shoulder the weight when you grow weary. I want to always be there for you in times of joy and struggle, in laughter and in tears, and through all the 1s and 20s life has to throw at us. You are my partner, my best friend, you are my heart. And on that heart, I promise to stand by you, hand in hand, and create the adventure of a lifetime.
Thank you, Richard. Brenda, it is your turn. With the iPad, or did you bring it?
Richard. You know me better than anyone else in this world, and somehow you still manage to love me. Together we will face life's experiences and share one another's dreams, goals, failures, and successes. I will always be honest with you, kind, patient, and forgiving. But most of all, I promise to be a true and loyal friend to you. I love you.
Thank you, Brenda. All right. Can I have the rings, please? Keep holding hands, keep holding hands.
There we go.
Oh yeah, here he comes. He's fast. Thank you very much. All right, so you're going to take his ring, Brenda, and hold it in your right hand. You're going to take her ring and hold it in your right hand. You guys are going to keep holding each other's left hand. Perfect. There you go, if you would. Thank you. Keep holding hands. Perfect. Now, these rings are a symbol and an outward and visible sign of an inward and spiritual bond which unites you both. It is a symbol of the vows that you've just made to one another. And as the rings are made of precious metal and rare stones, always remember that the love you share is both precious and rare. Look at your rings often, and when you do, be reminded of the promises that you make today. So Richard, as you place the ring onto Brenda's finger, please repeat after me. Slide it on there, and hold it there, and repeat after me. I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a token of my love
as a token of my love
and devotion to you,
and devotion to you,
and as a symbol
and as a symbol
of the everlasting bond we share.
of the everlasting bond that we share.
Now, Brenda, as you place the ring onto Richard's finger, please repeat after me. I got you. With this ring,
With this ring,
I promise to be your equal
I promise to be your equal
partner
partner
in a loving,
in a loving,
honest relationship
honest relationship
for as long as we both shall live.
for as long as we both shall live.
All right. Keep holding hands. Hold hands. Now it's time for the ceremony of the coins, or the aras. So, will Martha Rosas and Juan Cisneros, Brenda's aunt and uncle, please come forward and present the coins, please? Oh. I'm going to hold on to this for just 1 second. The ceremony of the aras, also known as the coin ceremony, is a reminder of good stewardship for all couples. And may God bless these coins as a sign of mutual support and responsibility. So Richard, you're first. Take the coins, put them, you want to count them out individually, or you can dump them all.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You're going to let the coins fall into two hands together, or you're going to catch them? And you're going to dump them in there. And repeat after me. Brenda, accept these coins
Brenda, accept these coins
as a pledge of my total dedication
as a pledge of my total dedication
and constant concern
and constant concern
for your welfare.
for your welfare.
Thank you. And now, Brenda, you're going to give the coins back to Richard and repeat after me. Richard, accept these coins
Richard, accept these coins
as a pledge of my total dedication
as a pledge of my total dedication
and constant concern for your welfare.
and constant concern for your welfare.
All right. Sponsors, if you would please collect the coins.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now it is time.